day for you to ask me to be your date, and you never did.
Seriously? I just thought we were kind of, you know, together.
Really? You thought we were together? Like together?
Yeah. Is that okay?
It's great.
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the Rosario+Vampire V-Logs. And on this week's set of reviews, we're doing 2 more episodes this time around, kind of wrapping up essentially the first disc of Capu2, that being episodes 8 and 9. And not gonna lie, these ones are kind of generic and kind of bland, especially episode 8. This one is like the last Jedi of the series, essentially. Okay, so what do I mean? Basically, not much happens. It is a series of anthology episodes. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 or 10 of these fucking things, and they just go on and on because they showed the title of the episode, and then they do the story, and then they show the title again, and it's a different episode. And then they show a title again, and it's a different episode. And it just goes on and on and on, and not much really is satisfying about this one. The only kind of connection between all of these episodes is the fact that it's about how Ruby is trying to advocate for all the school uniform skirts to be longer so they're less revealing and less fan-servicey. And it doesn't factor much into the plot at all, minus the last bit, but I'll get to that in a sec. But for the most part, episode 8 is very boring, it's very pointless, it's very just, it's there. I don't know who directed this one, who wrote this one, but it sounds like they were kind of passing some time to catch up with something, or to, you know, work on later episodes that, you know, might have more impact, but this was sadly, because we had this season doing so goddamn well, that, you know, and there's all this cool stuff, and the budget's update, and, you know, they've got better character development and stuff. This one felt so disappointing, and so far is the weakest episode of the entirety of Season 2, and let alone one of the worst episodes of the show, and it's kind of rare, because this show I actually do like. So, I did kind of leave this one feeling a little underwhelmed. It didn't really do much for me, it didn't really add much to the plot, and it just kind of was there, but it does bring us to the ending. Apparently we get sort of a post-credit scene like a Marvel movie. I think Marvel was around the time Season 2 was happening, so maybe they were trying to cash in on that factor, but the point being is that Ruby is actually working for the higher authorities at Yokai to make sure that the borders between the human world and the monster world are kept together, because you don't want to end up having this post-apocalyptic world with monsters and humans, which they do show in these brief images, and it's really terrifying. It's like a combination of the the nightmare scene in the DC Snyder stuff, mixed with Princess Knight. Do not look that up. I do not want to explain what that is, but to the point, it's got kind of that vibe to it, those flashbacks, and it gave the terror in, which, you know, scare factors with this series involving monsters, especially with Halloween, kind of rare on this show. So did not care really for episode 8. It is the weakest. It is definitely a 3 out of 10. If it wasn't for that post-credit scene, I would give this a frickin' 2 or a 1. It was completely and utterly pointless. Didn't add much in terms of the story. But then we get to episode 9, and this is much better. In this one, they go, again, sort of back to the human world, but this time they go up into the mountains in this sort of snowy land. I don't know if it's Norway, I don't know if it's Alaska, I don't know where the hell they're going. But they go there, and they're in the snowy mountains. It's one of those ski episodes. You know how sometimes they will literally have an episode of a show or a cartoon dedicated to going to a ski resort because I guess the writers wanted a vacation? So literally it's like, oh, we're all going on a trip to the mountains to go skiing. Bring the camera along, bring the script along, bring the cast along. I'm sure we can make an episode out of this. It kind of reminded me of things like there's a South Park episode that involves them going to a ski resort, and, you know, Stan has to train, and that's where you get the montage song, which is really funny. But on top of that, it also reminds me of, there's an episode of, I think, Power Rangers Zeo, I believe. I'm not 100%, but it's called There's No Snowbiz like show business or something. Like, something with snow. It's a pun on words. And in that one, the Power Rangers go to a ski resort and enjoy themselves. In fact, even Sailor Moon did this in an episode. They did a whole episode where they're at a fucking ski resort. Why does every show do this? Let's go to a ski resort. Why not? You know, what is this? The Rosario Vampire holiday special? What's going on here? It's so bizarre why every show does this cliche. Like, this one episode, there's always the ski lift episode. At this point, I should do one on my show. It's not a bad idea. We should poke fun of that. But to the point, this one actually has, obviously, Skune and all of them going to the ski resort and enjoying themselves. And, obviously, Cocoa is trying to chase after, Mocha. And she finds out, actually, about the rosary around her neck, and figures if I remove that, the actual Mocha will come back. But in doing so, while that's going on, we find out we're actually staying in the lands where Mizare and her mother stay. So, they're gonna try to get the marriage going, and it gets really intense, like some little hijinks and stuff. In this one, you see it where Mizare's mother had actually set up this little room area for, I guess, for them to bang. It's like, whoa! I mean, getting low down by the fire in the snowy weather, like, hot damn, but Jesus Christ. But it leads to a bunch of hijinks and stuff. There's a hot spring scene, which I can't show clips of because, you know, demonetization and everything, but whoa! There's a lot to tackle in that scene. I'm just, the whole time, there's one shot, again, I can't show you, but half the time I was just like, wow! Oh, okay. So, obviously, Skune's been kidnapped. What's happening? So, basically, Cocoa and Skune end up out in the mountains, like, lost and shit, in the cave. And the whole time, Cocoa didn't think to bring a jacket, so she's freezing her ass off. She's expressing to Skune that, I don't like you guys, I don't like your posse, I don't like the fact that Mocha is with you, and fuck you, dude. And then she obviously is freezing her ass off. You know, she doesn't, obviously the power of friendship does save this episode. And obviously, she's freezing her ass off. I guess vampires can't survive in the cold for that long. So Skune is warming her up. Not in that way, no. But to the point, just to make sure she's okay. But then, to quote The Mummy 3, abominable snowman? There's an abominable snow monster in this, because you gotta have one in a ski resort up in the mountains. It's cliche, Although in this one, I wish he was going,
welcome to the Himalayas!
I wish that had happened. That would have been really funny. But basically, Skune's trying to defend Cocoa. Hijinks ensue, battle entails, but it turns out the abominable snowman is Mizare's father? What? This makes no goddamn sense. Like, what? So she's part Yeti? Is this to catch a Yeti? God, no. But basically, no. It just turns out he's in a costume, and it's sort of a Scooby-Doo thing where, oh, I scare people off to get away from our home, and I wouldn't have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. It's sort of that whole cliche, but it ends on pretty good terms where, the mom and the dad, Mizare's parents, are actually pretty fucking cool. So, it kind of just ends on that little foundation for Cocoa to respect Skune and the friends more, and we end on a good note. So, Episode 9 is a hell of a lot better than Episode 8, but does it really hold up anything to the story? Not really. Again, this is sort of a padded episode waiting for the last 3 episodes, I think. Holy shit, are we already at the finale? Where we get to see kind of a conclusion to the entire story, so this is just kind of padded filler. But it is definitely, especially Episode 8, the weakest episode of the entire series. I didn't care for this one, quite frankly. And, I'd give Episode 8 a good 3 out of 10 or whatever. But this one, a good 4 out of 10, I guess, because it's cold. I don't know, 4 out of 10. Again, these two don't really add much in terms of the story, and they're just kind of there, essentially. But, of course, let me know your thoughts on episodes 8 and 9 in the comments section below. Don't forget to support our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you access to all of our content as well as other special features. And tune in next time when, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to include the last 3 episodes, or whatever episodes are left as a whole thing, or if I'm just gonna, you know, split them up. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys will definitely find out next week. So, until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, if you're trying to pad out time, come up with better stories other than let's go to the mountains and go on a ski lift, because that has been done to death. But, until next time, see you guys later. Take care.